So the final trailer to one of the most successful film franchises of all time finally dropped. It's put many fanboys in a glare, counting down the day until the epic release. Many people have already reviewed the trailer, which I'm late on. So rather that, I'm gonna present a theory for events that might take place in the film. But let's just quickly say the trailer was awesome and nerded all over the floor. Snoke's Force torture, Rey using the Force to earthbend, Kylo in his TIE silencer, and my favourite scene, Finn clashing with Phasma, was just 100. Every time, I've watched the trailer about 15 times now, every time I watch it, I just reenact the scene. I am actually just a big John Boyega fan now, like 100%. But before I go into full fanboy mode, let's just keep it 100 like Finn. Welcome to Big Screen, Little Screen Chats and Reviews, and today we're going to talk about the possible events that might take place in Star Wars The Last Jedi.
This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
Jumping straight into things, who is Snoke talking to?
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Many people think it's Kylo or Rey. I'd like to say it was Rey, but it's actually Kylo. I personally think he's talking to Kylo, and I'll say why. Because we know Kylo met Snoke at some point in his history and turned him to the dark side of the Force, and we know he is consistently conflicted between both sides of the Force. It makes sense that Snoke would be saying a line like this to Kylo because he's trying to stroke his ego about how powerful he is and how truly special he is. The kind of words that he uses is something Kylo would need to hear to keep him on side. You could argue these are words said to Rey's ego, but take note that this is not really within Rey's characteristic for Snoke to be talking to her like this. You might have seen from Rey, she's more of a selfless character than Kylo. Remember in Star Wars, they love to use Jedi mind tricks on us. The trailers always mislead you into thinking it's something else, because the following scene after Snoke's speech is Rey igniting her lightsaber. But that's just a misdirect. He's actually just talking about Kylo Ren. Which brings me to my next point. Who is Luke talking about when he says,
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Is he talking about Kylo? Could even be Vader. Heck, it might even be the Emperor. We don't know, but I think it's Kylo. No, not because the following scene is the new Jedi Temple on fire, but because of what Luke said. You have to understand that Luke is the chosen one, and he's been training ever since the end of Return of the Jedi. He is very Force sensitive. When he was training Kylo, he must have picked up on the confrontation between the dark side and the light side, and his raw power and potential from a young age. Luke, knowing this, he was never scared of him. But Rey displays a connection to the Force much more intensely than Kylo. And the fact that she's that Force sensitive at her age, considering that most Jedis train from a very young age, she's this Force sensitive and so in line with the Force at her level, there's justifiable reason to be concerned, if not scared. Because you have to understand, if Luke isn't talking about Kylo when he says that he's felt this kind of strength before and it didn't frighten him enough then, he's not talking about Kylo, then he's talking about either Vader or he's talking about the Emperor. All three are on the dark side. They're all Sith. So with that in mind, I'm going to throw this out there. I think by the end of this film, we're going to have Rey step into the dark side and possibly Kylo step back into the light. Now, originally I thought that Rey would just step into the dark side with Kylo, but considering that the film is called The Last Jedi, and I doubt we're going to see much of Luke Skywalker jumping back into the fold for the next couple of films, doing all sorts of acrobatics at his age. It's just not feasible. It's not possible. Mark Hamilton, I doubt, would even want to do that. He would probably want to be in the films, but doing all those acrobatics and next action sequences, I don't think he really wants to do that. So there needs to be a younger Jedi. It's either going to be Kylo or it's going to be Rey. It could have been Finn, but we know now that it's not. So Kylo or Ren, one of them is going to be the last Jedi. And it will be so amazing if Kylo was actually the last Jedi and Rey was actually the Sith that he needs to defeat. That will be a very big, role reversal, and kind of in line with the trailer if you think about it a lot more. Like in the trailer, you do get Kylo say his little speech about the past. I mean, he just sounds confused, like he doesn't really know what he should do. And at the same time, Rey also says that she's confused about what side she should be on. She doesn't know her place. She needs someone to show her place. Makes her sound confused as well. And the main reason why I think that Rey will turn to the dark side is based on this one thing that happens in the trailer when Snoke is talking to Rey and he says, "Fulfill your destiny." The exact line the Emperor said to Luke in Return of the Jedi when he tried to make him turn to the dark side. Coincidence? Maybe it's suggesting that this time round the Jedi will turn to the dark side. Seriously, think about it. It's a strong possibility. But like I said before, Star Wars likes its Jedi mind tricks. They like to do on its audience on what we think is going to happen. Like all the publication on Finn in The Force Awakens made him look like he was going to be our Jedi hero. But what do you think? Don't forget to comment, subscribe. But until next time, this is Big Screen, Little Screen.
Creepy little beast!